I mean, honestly, I feel like a picture of him in a mugshot on a sweater would be really dope. I would wear that. I'm not even gonna lie to you, I would wear that. Alrighty, Trump was just indicted for the third time. And although I usually don't give a shit about Trump or what he does or what happens to him, we still have a moral and objective obligation to cover it. So, we are going to talk about Trump's indictment and what that means. Fortunately, unfortunately, are we happy? Are we not? I can't wait until he, goes to prison and the news cycle gets over this whole thing because I'm tired of hearing about Trump. I really am. But, alas, still need to be patient for it. So, we're going to start off by reading an article really quick just to get ourselves up to date, and then we're going to go into videos and Trump's response and all the good things that comes with it. Trump indicted for efforts to overturn 2020 election and block transfer of power. And this is somebody holding a Trump indicated. Okay, that A is really small. Did this person just forget that indicated has an A in it? I don't know. I'm still here for the sign though. Donald Trump was indicted on felony charges Tuesday for working to overturn the results of the 2020 election in the run-up to the violent riot by his supporters at the U.S. Capitol, with the Justice Department acting to hold him accountable for an unprecedented effort to block the peaceful transfer of presidential power and threaten American democracy. I mean, they're getting to it 3 years later. You know what I mean? Better late than never. The 4-count indictment, the third criminal case against Trump, provided deeper insight into a dark moment that has already been the subject of exhaustive federal investigations and captivating public hearings. I don't know about captivating. I think y'all are shoving it down our throats and forcing it to be captivating. I don't think anything involving Trump is captivating, if I'm going to be completely honest. I want the mugshot and then the prison pic of him looking miserable, no orange or whatever he does with that hairpiece. I mean, honestly, I feel like a picture of him in a mugshot on a sweater would be really dope. I would wear that. I'm not even gonna lie to you, I would wear that. It chronicles a months-long campaign of lies about the election results and says that even when those falsehoods resulted in chaotic insurrection at the Capitol, Trump sought to exploit the violence by pointing it as a reason to further delay the counting of votes that sealed his defeat. Okay. I can see that. Even in a year of rapid succession, legal recognition for Trump, Tuesday's indictment with charges including conspiring to defraud the United States government that he once led was stunning in its allegations that a former president assaulted the bedrock function of democracy. It's the first time the defeated president, who is early frontrunner for next year's presidential nomination, is facing legal consequences for his frantic but ultimately failed effort to cling onto power. So it seems like they're getting him for the 2020 uprising and trying to just overturn what had happened. The Trump campaign called the charges fake and asked why it took 2.5 years to bring them. I mean, listen, it basically did take them 3 years. I'm not gonna not give him that. It did take them a while. But also, putting a former president in prison, or wanting to, you're gonna have to get your facts straight, right? You can't just willy-nilly something that big. You know what I mean? It also cites handwritten notes from former Vice President Mike Pence that gives gravitas to Trump's relentless goading to reject the electoral vote. Pence, who is challenging Trump for the GOP presidential nomination. Oh my God, I forgot. I totally forgot Pence is running for president. Stop. Why did I forget that? That is so bad. You have to be really irrelevant for me to forget that you're running for president. You really have to be painfully irrelevant for me to just completely, totally forget that you are running for president. Prosecutors say Trump knew his claims of having won the election were false, but he repeated and widely disseminated them anyways to make his knowingly false claims appear legitimate, to create an intense national atmosphere of mistrust and anger. Okay, so it just seems like it's all January 6th stuff, huh? I do know this one lawyer that does really good coverage of this kind of thing. He's one of the first lawyers that was able to bring down Trump University. Oh no, that's me. So he uploaded this video. I think he'd do a really great breakdown on it.
They indicted Donald Trump for January 6th, but what is this all about? What are they actually indicting him for? There are 4 counts. 3 of them are conspiracies. The other one is for obstruction. Conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, conspiracy against the right to vote, and obstruction of an attempt to obstruct an official proceeding. What's missing from here is some sort of big headline grabbing thing like seditious conspiracy, which would be a conspiracy to overthrow the US government. A lot of people were hoping that DOJ and Jack Smith would nail Trump for that, but it's not in this indictment. Here's why that might actually be a good thing. They're going after the things that they have on Trump that they can lock down in front of a jury. Conspiracy to defraud centered around the fake electors. Conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding had to do with, did they actually mean to disrupt the January 6th certification of the Electoral College vote? They absolutely did. This indictment goes for specific items where they definitely have proof, it looks like, and witnesses. They went for specific items, not the combo platter, because they want these to be slam dunk.
Okay, so here's what I think happened, right? They got him on 4 counts. 3 conspiracy, 1 obstruction, and they did really simple charges, right? Like ones that they know without a doubt a jury would convict him for, right? Because if you do seditious conspiracy or anything bigger than what they actually gave him, they would have had to really gone and like really had to try to prove that, right? But everything that Tristan, this lawyer, just said, they have a definitive proof of. Like he did conspire to do the things that they're charging him of. Therefore, and they have the proof of it, right? We watched the January 6th hearings. We watched some of the clips of the interviews and the depositions that they did. They do have enough evidence to prove that Donald Trump was trying to stop the votes from happening in an attempt to still win the presidency in some shape or form. So it just kind of seems like they did what they needed to do to slam dunk it. I don't think they're reaching for the moons and the stars, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, they needed to put charges and they needed them to stick. Now, are some people probably going to be disappointed by this? Yes, but at the end of the day, personally speaking, I think having 4 counts getting fully charged and like, yeah, he's guilty of them, rather than having one really big like crazy title like seditious conspiracy and like him not getting, you know, getting the guilty verdict on it, like that would suck. Right? So I feel like they're playing their cards safe here, which I understand. Do I wish they were a little bit more ballsy with this? Yes. But their way of which they're dealing with this makes sense. You know what I mean?
Convictions at trial. Jack Smith's strategy here is like Omar from The Wire. If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense, actually. That makes a lot of sense. All right. So apparently Twitter and TikTok. Wow, these are a lot of TikToks. Oh no. Indictment, another thread, MAGA copes. All right, let's see what this dude's saying.
Why can't 30 million of us, 40 million of us drive to Washington, D.C.? I know it's a long way for me. I live in Oregon. So all I need is gas, food, and water. That's all I need. That's all I need. That's all we all need to get there. Get there. Just sleep in your car, set up shop right there at the White House. You know, what are they going to do if 20, 30 million people converge on the White House at Washington, D.C. and demand Joe Biden resign?
They're not going to do anything but kick you out. I mean, why is this such a great, like... This guy is acting like he's coming up with some great freaking grand plan or something. What are you talking about? They're just going to kick you out. They're going to get the Capitol Police and they're going to boot you out with the Capitol Police.
Demand Kamala Harris resign.
It's Kamala.
What are they going to do? We the people. They work for us. They're not in charge of us. 81 million people did not vote for that person. Didn't happen. No chance. There's no chance of it. So what's stopping us? You know, in 1932, Herbert Hoover, veterans came back from World War, and they were back from World War I, and they were promised a bonus payment, and they never...
Wait, oh my god, I just noticed the Spider-Man right here. That's pretty funny.
received their bonus payment. They ended up getting it back in 1936, 1938. They got issued their payment, but they went up to D.C., set up shop at the White House, protested, set up camp, had food and everything. And you know what Herbert Hoover did? He ordered tanks in to clear them out. He ordered the army in to clear them out. He ordered the army to come in and clear.
All right, dude. You're not going to inspire anybody to go sleep in their cars on the step of Capitol Hill and drive up there if you're going to give a very boring history lesson right after it.
This isn't like, as I said on Saturday, you know, the best way to survive being chased by a bear is to run faster than your slowest.
You know what I hate? I hate it when political pundits yell. And this goes for both leftists and Republicans. Like, I know some content creators and they'll just like, da-da-da-da-da, like they'll be screaming in the microphone for every single freaking video. And I'm like, dude, please calm down. It's way too aggro. It's way too aggro. 1 or 2 videos, I get it. But every single video, you're looking like a freaking crackhead, like into the camera, and you're just like screaming at the top of your lungs. It's not. It's giving psychotic.
No, the left is a different type of bear. They're going to eat your slowest friend, then they're going to eat you. They're not going to stop. Their appetite can never be appeased. Their appetite can never be satisfied. So whether you support Trump or you support Chris Christie or you think Donald Trump is orange or you think Ron DeSantis is the better choice and the primary is over and now you're upset and you're taking your ball and you're going home, they're not going to leave you alone. They're coming for your ball too.
It's the fear mongering for me, right? I can promise you $20, we don't give a shit about you. Like, personally, as a leftist, I don't care about individual people. I mean, I do, but I don't, right? I do care about individual people, but like, if you are a Republican and you choose to vote Republican, that's well within your right. I'm going to make content to try to convince people to, you know, adhere to left ideas and whatnot. But if you choose to vote for Ron DeSantis, that's your right. And to be quite honest with you, if you are an individual that chooses to vote for Ron DeSantis, that's totally up to you. Will I decide to engage with you? Probably not. But that's up to you. This guy is acting as if leftists are out on the prowl, on the hunt to just get Republicans and like freaking like cage them in a little glass jar and just like put them in their window or something. Like, no, we don't really care like that. It's not that.
This is getting ridiculous what they're doing to Trump. Another indictment. This is ridiculous. How the can you get away with doing another indictment? Really? What has he done wrong? Not a fucking thing, but made our country better. And you all dumb motherfuckers want to stop him.
It's the pencil in his ear for me. Who the hell uses pencils like this anymore?
Time to take this fucking country back. The white people, the black people, the Mexican people, the anybody people. It's time we stand our ground and take our country back. Let's get it done.
Nah, bro. Brody, you on your own with this one. Oh, Jesus. This guy looks like the thing in the corner of your room when you get sleep paralysis. What the hell is this?
If you think our government is a gang of cock goblin tyrants like I do, 1, we're friends now. And 2, we need to be ready for any shit grenades that our government overlords throw at us. Now, if I had to guess, most of you guys who watch my videos probably already have Freedom machines, but a really good addition to add to your bug out bag is the Henry U.S. Survival Rifle. Obviously on social media.
Okay, hold on. What the hell is a Freedom machine? What is he talking about? I don't even know how to spell machine. Okay.
Media, I can't show you the actual rifle because this video will get deleted quicker than
Oh, it's a right-wing slang for guns. Okay, well, you guys could have told me that before I went on this whole Google search.
Epstein's flight logs. The dude comes in this little carrying case right here. It is a 22 semi-automatic. It comes with 2 8-round magazines, and it only weighs 3.5 pounds. Obviously, I can't show you the full thing, but it is 35 inches when it's fully assembled, and all of it breaks down, goes into the buttstock.
I'm sorry, is he using Trump's 3rd indictment to sell guns?
And there's a cover for it, and that makes it only 16.5 inches. This has been used by Air Force pilots who need a small caliber rifle. It is lightweight and reliable. Here's the size of one of the magazines. This will do the symbols really quickly and no tools are needed. And it's even...
I'm not gonna lie to you, I do respect the hustle. Exploit Trump's indictment and misery to sell guns to chuds. Gotta say, I do respect it.
Stay self-reliant and train to be an asset to your team. Long live old school America, mother...
Be an asset to what team? Self-reliant patriot? Okay, at least he uses soap. At least we know he uses soap. That's a good start.
If you're looking to get that man card back, get your hands on some Slappy products. Most other companies send you soaps in rhinestone handbags and purses. Not this company. They're patriotic as... Slappy's products are so amazing that it will turn you into a genetic jackhammer. It will put hair on your chest. Maybe.
Wow. Okay. Well, that gave us everything we needed to know about that TikToker. So what?
You f***ing assholes. If a chipmunk bit his own f***ing nutbag, they'd indict Donald Trump for that. Do you understand what they are doing? Next, they come after me.
Dude, nobody wants your greasy, ugly ass. Why are these guys all convinced that the government wants them? That the government is looking for them? My guy, nobody wants your greasy, street rat looking ass, bro. No one is after you.
And then they're gonna come after you big mouth fucking liberals who love expressing your fucking dumbass grievances.
I feel like he's talking to me right now. I feel personally attacked.
And squash that and indict you. Do you get it?
Kind of the catch-22, right? You're aware of all this shit going on, but you can't do nothing about it. I feel you, dude. I'm in the same boat. The answer is you don't stop going to work. You keep going like nothing's wrong for the sake of the rest of the people around you, the people that depend on you.
Why are these people acting like they're personally all impacted by Trump going to jail?
We can't afford our rent. We can't afford our prescriptions. We can't afford insulin.
Seems like a lot of pissed off humans in that video. I bet you there's a lot more. We don't need to wake anybody up anymore. Have y'all hit your line in the sand yet? Are you done serving your oppressors? And they're right. And I'm guilty of it too. And my ego would say, well, I went to Ottawa. I had snipers on my back. But we went home. That's what I keep saying the problem is. Now, we've seen the riots, the revolutions.
This guy has the personality of a goddamn cardboard box. Listening to him speak feels like watching paint dry on a goddamn wall. If you want to convince me that there's something actually happening in this world, you need to be captivating. None of these people are captivating in any sense of the word.
That's corrupt motherfucking politicians. Maybe you motherfuckers should have waited till all of us Gen X motherfuckers were long gone and buried before you decided to play this serious game. I'll fuck around and find out. The older we get, the less fucks we give and the more we're willing to fucking sacrifice to take care of our fucking families and our fucking children. You motherfuckers continue to fucking play this game and not understanding fucking Americans like me, patriots like...
He said the F word one more time. Dude, these, like, what? First of all, this looks like, he looks like a egg with a beard and some glasses on. You look like a egg, dude. You look like if Joe Rogan had a bigger brother, that would be you. But like the brother was raised in like a farm in the middle of Texas and did not have any kind of social interactions whatsoever. If you're uploading a video like this and you're cussing every other word, I'm going to assume you do actually give a F. You do actually give a F word. You clearly care because you uploaded this really crappy video on the internet, right? And like, for some reason, it's like, do you not feel cringe? Do you not give yourself the ick after watching this video? Like, it's giving ick. I don't know how else to explain it. Imagine matching with a dude on social media and you Google him and this video comes up. Like, you are literally going to scare everybody away, my guy, for the rest of your life because you decided to put this crappy video on the internet.
But when he does win the presidency and he does come back, first thing he's going to do is not put up the wall. He's not going to open up the pipelines again. He's not coming to save your gas stove at the first chance he gets. NATO's fair share? Get on the back burner. Ukraine-Russia war? I ain't going near it. What he's gonna do is go after everybody named Biden. Clinton, Obama, Brennan, Clapper, Page, Strzok, Comey, all of them. And he has every right to go after you guys. You put his life through lies and hell. I'm coming after you, Murdoch.
Why did they all wear the same shades indoors? Like, why are you wearing these shades inside your house with a Hawaiian shirt? I don't know, he's giving XWWE vibes, I'll give you that much.
Watch the news. They're going to try to convict Donald Trump for the January 6th thing now. It's obvious that he is doing something right because they keep piling charges on him. See, they're scared to death that they may be held.
Hey, if you ain't got any haters, you ain't doing it right. You don't have any haters, you're not doing it right. He does have a point.
Accountable if he gets in office for all the crimes against humanities that they've done. Well,
It's the music.
you know, if you don't exercise your body, your muscles go weak. And if you don't exercise your voice, you'll lose it. And if you don't exercise your freedoms, they'll take them, right? So exercise this. I believe we need to have another march. And fuck 1,000, and fuck a couple 100,000. Let's go with like 20 fucking million, 100 million. Because all of us are fed the fuck up, right? And I guarantee you, if you're one of the 600 in the White House looking out and you see 20 million motherfuckers saying, hey, we've had enough, we ain't going, shit's gonna get real.
Okay.
They ain't got enough prisons to hold 20 million people.
Oh, no.
And I don't know how we do that, but I ain't gonna stand by and not stop talking. Hey, you fucking Republican and you Democratic, all y'all are in on it together. Otherwise, you'd be standing up for what's right and saying, hey, that dude that used to be our president didn't do nothing wrong.
What is
And the
this
Department of Justice and the FBI and all that shit is wrong. Protesting and trying to convict people that actually had something for the American people. Wanted to see them grow. We're fed the up, right?
Imagine you're walking at the park and you just look at this guy who's just walking in a circle, going off of his phone to some like Hunger Games ass bootleg music. And when I tell you I would run, I'm not even. It sounds like he doesn't like Republicans or Democrats. It sounds like he's just kind of like screw everyone. You know what I mean? Wait, the link to this video specifically? Yeah, I'll send it to you. Oh, Jesus.
Hi, TikTok. Welcome back. It's Radical Rose with a message on the definition of hypocrisy. Joebi.
Wait, is that actually your face or is that a filter? Wait, I feel so bad asking. Wait, that's her actual face? Like, that's not a filter? Oh my god, dude. If human reptilians exist, she is one of them. If aliens exist, this is what they look like. I'm sorry, you just look so ridiculous. I can't even listen to what you're saying, even if I want to.
Get away with it. It's called corruption.
Here's the thing, though, like, she does have a point. Okay, hear me out. The IRS is notorious for going after people who don't make enough money, who can't afford to lawyer up and fight them, right? The IRS and just, like, tax investigations and such, they end up disproportionately impacting people of color and lower income people because they know if they go after the person that makes $40,000 a year, they wouldn't be able to afford an attorney as opposed to the entrepreneur that makes $3 million a year. In the mix of her chutty messaging, right, she does have a point. Why can certain people get away with it, but other people can't? Now, once you leave that messaging and she's like saying Biden needs to get investigated, Hunter and Trump is innocent, like, you know, that's where you start to lose everybody, right? But the core of the messaging, I feel like she does kind of have a point.
One is enough. We know what's going on. I don't have to review it in every one of my videos. We know the corruption. We know the tyrants by name. We know.
Is he in his child's bedroom? Like, did he just, like, set up shop in his child's bedroom? Also, his flag is upside down.
What they are doing and shoving down our throats. When are we going to stand up? I'm sick of seeing the memes. I'm sick of Americans being so star-spangled awesome just for specific dates on our calendar. When are we gonna stand up and drag these tyrants
from office. No one is going to do it for us. It doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you sit on. They are pinning us against each other.
Dude, what if leftists and Republicans came together to overthrow the government? I feel like that could kind of happen. I could see that happening because I think both sides definitely hate, the system. I mean, it would be a shit show, but I think it's possible. He said memes don't do anything. Little does he know that he literally just became a meme on Twitter. I digress, though.
Mr. Trump, I'm a lifelong Republican, and I'm one of your supporters. I believe you have the right plan, but I believe that you're dragging ass, and I believe that you're misidentifying to us what you're doing. You're throwing us off too.
Look, now I'm going to tell y'all the truth about something. Making all these videos like I do for these Democrats, it ain't easy like y'all think. No, it ain't, because I got to act ignorant, and I got to get under their skin. So y'all, if you can't stand me, you ain't alone. I can't stand myself half the time. But I got to do it. I got to do it. Who else is going to be here to act up a fool like this to get under their skin and let them know how much we don't like them? You gotta appreciate this fucking crazy shit, man.
Dude, she looks like your average... I'm not even gonna say what she looks like because I don't want to be mean.
Charging Donald J. Trump with conspiring to defraud the United States, conspiring to disenfranchise voters, and conspiring and attempting to obstruct an official proceeding. The indictment was issued by a grand jury of citizens here in the District of Columbia, and it sets forth the crimes charged in detail.
Damn, Columbia, D.C. DC is hella liberal. DC is a liberal city. He's definitely toast since it's gonna be in DC. Oh boy!
I encourage everyone to read it in full. The attack on our nation's capital on January 6th, 2021 was an unprecedented assault on the seat of American democracy. As described in the indictment, it was fueled by lies. Lies by the defendant targeted at obstructing a bedrock.
Do you know how different our timeline would have been today if Bernie was our president? Our timeline would have been so freaking different. Trump would have never been president. Like, the world we would be living in now would be so different. So different.
Bedrock function of the U.S. government, the nation's process of collecting, counting, and certifying the results of the presidential election.
Trump was hit with 4 serious felonies in the new indictment, accusing him of fraudulently trying to undo his loss in the 2020 election. The first charge, conspiracy to defraud the United States, has a maximum possible sentence of 5 years in prison if convicted. 2 other charges, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding and obstruction of an official proceeding, carry much heavier maximums, 20 years in prison.
So maximum... he could be spending 25 years in prison. He gets the maximum sentencing over the 4 charges they gave them. They gave him 3 of which were conspiracy, 1 of which was obstruction.
The 4th charge against Trump, conspiracy against rights, has a maximum possible sentence of 10 years behind bars.
Oh, I take that back. So if he gets sentenced maximum for all 4 of the charges, that means he would spend 35 years in prison. Maximum.
Now, if the charges alone weren't scary enough for him, well, there's even more bad news. Because when the trial takes place in May, as Brian Tyler Cohen points out, Judge Tanya Chut Khan is appointed to preside over Trump's January 6th indictment case. This is an Obama appointee who issued some of the harshest rulings against January 6th insurrectionists, and this bodes absolutely terribly for Donald Trump, obviously.
Damn, that man is in trouble. Oh boy, that man is in trouble. That man better count his free days, son. That man is toast. That man is basically a toaster strudel now. He is screwed. There is no way he's not going to prison. Do I think he's going to be serving like a less harsher sentence in a little nice cushy prison? Yes. I'm not convinced he's going to get let off though. I'm not convinced. Because there's more than likely 2 more indictments coming out, one of which is most likely going to be Georgia, and the election crap he tried to pull in Georgia too. So if it's not going to be this one, if it's not going to be the stolen documents, if it's not going to be Georgia, like, one of these is going to stick. I don't know for how long. I don't know, like, what it's actually going to look like. But I am not convinced this man is going to get indicted more than likely more than 3 times and not spend any jail time. It's just impossible. Also, he pissed off the worst agencies to piss off. He basically pissed off every single law enforcement worker. He pissed off the FBI. He pissed off a bunch of liberal federal judges. He pissed off a lot of people that you're not supposed to piss off because he constantly thinks he's untouchable. And he's not. No one is untouchable. I mean, if you're rich, you can have a better chance at, getting touched and then getting away with it. But for the most part, when it comes to the American legal system, I don't think he's going to get away with this. You think the right-wing Supreme Court will find him guilty, though? Did they not just say that it's not in the Supreme Court, though? Like, yeah, he can try to appeal when he's in jail. Good luck. Also, not to mention that the Supreme Court does not accept every single case they get. They only accept, like, a minimal amount of cases that they get. Also, he would have to appeal the ruling, and then he would have to bid it to the Supreme Court. And that's if the Supreme Court even agrees to it. So I don't think the Supreme Court is a factor here. Exactly, Viral. He would have to appeal it, and then it would have to go through, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not a lawyer, it would have to go through the appellate court. And then if he appeals it and they say, yeah, it was unfair for whatever reason, then he may have a chance to send it to the Supreme Court. But, like, that's very unlikely. It's not likely that he has that option. They're also not a criminal court. Yeah, Jana's right. They're not a criminal court. So I think this judge that was appointed by Obama is about to murk him. Watch. He cannot weasel his way out of this. I'm not convinced there's any way he could weasel his way out of this. I do think it's fair to not have faith in the legal system where you're like, oh, he's probably going to get off. I get that. I do. But 3 indictments. Georgia's indictment is probably going to come within the next couple of weeks. Appointed in... The case is literally going to be in liberal-ass D.C. with a liberal judge that hates, Capitol 6 rioters and, people that are in that realm of, ideology. Yeah, he's screwed. I think he's screwed, honestly. I would be surprised if he doesn't get at least 5 years. I can say that confidently now. The Republican runner-up is Donald Trump, who currently has 3 indictments, more than likely is going to get at least another one from Georgia. Runner-up after him is Ron DeSantis, which respectfully has been flailing and flopping. He's literally like a freaking crab that has a bunch of barnacles stuck onto him. Like, that dude is literally flopping at trying to become president. And then the other runner-ups, like, you probably don't even know they're running. Like, freaking Mike Pence, right? Like, I forgot he was running until today, until I was reminded by an article I was reading. You know what I mean? Like, American politics is so in shambles. It's embarrassing. We can't get our crap together. We are currently the laughingstock of the whole entire world. And honestly, rightfully so, because this shit is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. I understand that we're like having our little hoorah and we're, celebrating that this is his 3rd indictment, probably has more to come. But like, when you look at the greater scheme of things, we're supposed to be, allegedly, the greatest country in the world. And we can't even get anything right. Like, it's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. We as Americans look at other countries. First of all, we call them 3rd world countries. We other them, right? But we look at them and we point at them and they're like, look at them. They are this, they are that. They're so dirty. What about us? We are operating our politics no better than a developing country, quite frankly. If anything, we're worse. Because we have so much goddamn dirty money getting passed around in our politics. It just makes everything so freaking tainted and gross, and it literally doesn't give anyone any freaking chance to try to run or win anything. Half the country got burned down to get murder charges against a cop even when it was on video. Yeah, I mean, we had a George Floyd Act that was introduced after the George Floyd uprisings and George Floyd's murder. And that act, from my understanding, it still hasn't passed. It still hasn't passed. And we, burned the country down. Do you understand what I'm saying? We burned half the country down. The country went up in protest. Less than 10% of the protests ended up becoming, riots or looting or whatever you might want to call it. But majority was just, protest and uprisings, right? We still haven't passed this act. So you want to tell me about what 3rd world country which, by the way, I don't even like that term, what developing country has going on in their government, bro, put a mirror up on our owns. Our owns is not, it's giving, I don't know what it's giving. How can I explain it? It's giving chaos. It's giving, you know what it is? It's like if you take a really busted car, a new 2023 BMW M3, and you put it on display, but the belt is broken, the gas chamber leaks, the transmission blew out, right? It's like having a beautiful, like, fresh 2023 new car, but like everything inside it is just like messed up. That is America in a nutshell. Like, you look at it from a distance and it looks like the world of just like Barbie's Playhouse or whatever, right? Like, it looks amazing. It looks like developed. It looks so awesome. But you actually look in and you take the parts, apart, and you actually look at the system, you start realizing that there's so much wrong with everything happening. This is true, and we know it's true, because in Republican states like Florida, they don't want to teach you the reality of how broken the car is. They want to keep you in a bubble, right? Which is why they're restricting what libraries can, provide and possess in all different states, but they're restricting libraries, they're restricting librarians, they're restricting the curriculum, they're coming up with crazy things like GRT and CRT. Like, they know that this country is messed up. We know that this country is messed up, right? Because once you start pulling apart that M3, you start seeing how messed up the country is. But they don't want you to know that, right? That's why the future generation of children in Florida are much better off studying potatoes. Because at this rate, their education is going to be so freaking bad, they're going to basically be indoctrinated to be chuds at age like 6, which is insane. Anyways, I got off topic, but you guys get what I mean.
The defendant was determined to remain in power. The indictment charges, saying Trump unleashed a blizzard of lies about purported mass voter fraud and then tried to get state, local, and federal officials to act to change the vote results. These claims were false, and the defendant knew that they were false. In fact, the defendant was notified repeatedly that his claims were untrue, often by the people on whom he relied for candid advice on important matters and who were best positioned to know the facts, and he deliberately disregarded the truth, the indictment states. The attack on our nation's capital on January 6, 2021 was an unprecedented assault on the seat of American democracy, as Special Counsel Jack Smith said in announcing the indictment. It was fueled by lies by the defendant. There's another interesting element that I do want to get to here, and that is the 6 additional co-conspirators who were not named but identified in this indictment, who are also probably in a lot of legal trouble. Now, despite them not being named, the New York Times pieced together the evidence, and they determined that these are the individuals the indictment is likely referring to. The first one is obviously Rudy Giuliani. I think that all of us could have figured that out. The second one is John Eastman. Sidney Powell is most likely co-conspirator number 3. Co-conspirator number 4 is probably Jeffrey Clark, who Trump wanted to appoint as acting attorney general. But remember, this was going to lead to a mass walkout at the Justice Department, so he didn't do it. On top of that, there's co-conspirator number 5, who is almost certainly Kenneth Chesebro, who is the attorney who tried to enact the false electors scheme.
I hope those people can afford an attorney. I hope they can afford an attorney, because it's not looking good.
But he is essentially, predictably, calling this the weaponization of the Justice Department and saying it's an attempt to interfere with the 2024 election. And he says that the lawlessness of these persecutions of President Trump and his supporters is reminiscent of Nazi Germany in the 1930s.
What is it with Republicans comparing everything to Nazi Germany? It's the self-victimization and the comparison to Nazi Germany as if it's even relevant to what's going on here. Like, yeah, elements of this country is teetering towards the edge of Nazi Germany when it comes to, like, trans people and other things. But I don't know if you getting indicted for allegedly committing a bunch of crimes is really reminiscent of Nazi Germany. And I don't think you, as a I don't want to say non-Jewish person, because I know a lot of people that were not Jewish were also impacted by the Holocaust, right? But as somebody who wasn't even impacted by the Holocaust, I don't think it's your place to make this comparison either. You know what I mean? It's just such a weird thing to say. It's like you have to garner sympathy for yourself, so you say something like so freaking ridiculous in hopes of garnering that sympathy. I don't know. So as much as I do think Donald Trump has had his faults, I don't think I've ever heard him say that he was a Holocaust denier. Does he go into rooms with people who are probably Holocaust deniers? Maybe, but like I don't think he's actually a Holocaust denier himself. Yeah, he might feel that way personally, but I'm not Houdini. I can't read his mind.
And I don't think any sensible American they should take what's happening very seriously. It should anger them. But the actual charges you can't take seriously. Their feelings masquerading as facts. Their opinions trying to be passed off as crimes. It's garbage dressed up with a legal thesaurus. And it's criminalizing thoughts, and it's criminalizing speech. You have every right to think an election might be rigged or fixed. I mean, is every institution perfect? What if we criminalize the idea that if you said the justice system was flawed?
Yeah, that's not the issue, though. The issue isn't that he thought that. The issue is that he literally tried to overturn the election results. That's the issue. That's the issue here. It's not, oh, he thought that it was rigged. Is thinking a crime now? No, it's not. It's not a crime. It's just when you act on it in illegal ways, like that's when it does become a crime.
But if we told you that, you know what? You're saying the justice system is rigged, you're going to jail. But that's been a common refrain. So I think it's amazing to me how hatred for Trump has turned the haters into what they claim to condemn. These are all the things that they would have accused him of that he never did. This is why I can't take it seriously. I have a hard time. This is why I draw things. It's my therapy.
That guy never ceases to just be like not cringe. You know what I mean? It's like he always tries to be the relatable, like funny Gen X dude on Fox News. He always just ends up being a hater. Or excuse me, I just read the comment. He always ends up being corny and icky. I just mixed up my words because I read something in the chat. And I'm not saying having a great relationship with Israel is adjacent to you not being anti-Semitic, because I don't think Israel represents Judaism, but he also did have a very close relationship with Israel. He did legitimize Israel with a bunch of countries. I personally never heard him say something that was explicitly anti-Semitic. Now, if his ex-wife is saying that he kept Hitler's speeches by his bedside or whatever, that's different. I'm saying I haven't heard him say anything. But then again, I could be wrong, right? I could totally be wrong. He could have totally said something. I just maybe don't know about it. That's just what I'm saying.
A July 17th YouGov poll found that 90% of Americans believe that conspiring to overturn the results of a presidential election is a serious crime. Furthermore, 70% think that aiding and inciting an insurrection against the federal government is also a serious crime. And 67% think attempting to obstruct the certification of a presidential election is a serious crime. He's now being charged with that. But what this does demonstrate is that if Fox News actually wants to persuasively convince people that these charges are an attack on free speech or a nothing burger, he's going to have to get a little bit more savvy with the propaganda if he's going to convince anyone outside of their bubble. But I mean, what else can be said at this point? We have a former president who has been indicted now 3 times, and yet he's still the leading candidate for one of 2 major parties in this country.
Yep.
And the craziest fucking part is that he could still very much become president again.
Yeah, I would be surprised if anyone votes for him, though. I would be very surprised. I don't know. I'm not convinced people are going to vote for him like that. I could be wrong, though. I mean, maybe people will. I just don't think he has the pull that he did have in 2016. In 2016, he had massive pull. In 2016, that man had massive pull. He could have swayed any crowd of anything, to be completely honest. He had a lot of, he had a lot of power. He had a lot of pull. Now he's just it's just trickling down one by one by one. It's just You know, I don't know how else to explain it. Yeah, the diehards will vote for him, but I don't know if the diehards are enough to get him elected as president, you know? Like, you can have diehards here and there, like, vote for him, but am I convinced that's gonna actually make him president? I'm not convinced, you know what I mean? But anyways, that was our Trump indictment coverage. I hope you guys liked it. Make sure you like and subscribe for more videos like this. Peace.